We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin.
And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at these. And what these are, from left to right, in order of hotness. All these from CaJohn's. There is the Rougaroux, the Leviathan, the Cerberus, and the Hydra. And this might be a bit of a longish video because I'm going to go through all four of these. And I know. I said I wasn't going to do this. I know what you're all thinking. You said when you open these. You said when you open these in the Lava Puff 3 challenge video. You said you weren't going to do a quad review. And I did. That's true. I did say that. However, if you'll indulge me here, I am doing it this way for the reason that these are more alike than not. So, to me, I felt that it's pretty hard to justify separate reviews of all of these when they're all so very similar. And so we're going to take a look at all this here, and I'll show you what I mean. So this is the Rougaroux, the werewolf, and this is supposedly cryptid from the bayou, supposedly a Louisiana style with Caribbean chilies. And so to me, this is more, it's more of a Caribbean style sauce or a Cajun style sauce by way of the Caribbean. I wouldn't call it Louisiana style. As far as I'm concerned, that is just cayenne, vinegar, and water, and that is it. Maybe xanthan gum too. So I wouldn't necessarily say it that way, but it's fine. I feel like the definitions are just all kind of polluted between Cajun and Louisiana style for the most part anyway. I'm probably the only one that really is too caring about the differentiation. Anyway, we have chile peppers. So we have Scotch bonnet, yellow Moruga scorpions, yellow seven paws, and fatali. So basically yellow peppers here. Vinegar, cane sugar, salt, garlic, spices, and lemon extract. Now, the vinegar, cane sugar, salt, garlic, spices, and lemon extract is the commonality between all four of these. All four of those have that same thing, and they just switch out the peppers. So that's why I'm saying these sauces are much more alike than not. So Leviathan, let's see. What's really weird about these sauces is on the website, there's just none of the websites actually. There's just not a lot of literature about these, which is a little bit different from the way that CaJohn's used to be once upon a when. Okay, so the most rare are they? Oh, most misunderstood. This is the brown pod sauce. So we've got anything that is okay. We've got I don't really, the verbiage is nonsense. Okay, so again, we've got the vinegar, garlic, sugar, salt. This one is xanthan gum and lemon extract and so on. So those ingredients, the ancillary ingredients are all the same here. This one I think has water. I don't believe that the Rougaroux did. So we've got, in this one, the chocolate habanero mash, which is basically just chocolate habaneros. There are that scorpion peppers in here as well. So this one's a habanero, chocolate habanero, and scorpion peppers. This one, and I'll talk about these here actually. Let me go through the ingredients. Let me not get ahead of myself. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to taste all these. I guess I probably will in the spoon, in the white spoon. The loving white spoons that you all come to know and expect because of the dashing color point. So the fish of the deep, this one is the Hound of Hades. And the idea here is the three-headed beast is the Dougla, Reaper, and Primo. And that's the idea behind this sauce. So, of course, we have, like you said, the garlic, sugar, salt. This one does not have lemon extract in it. This is the only one that doesn't, I believe. And here we have the Sempa Primo, the Sempa Dougla, and the Reaper. And so last but not least, definitely not least, the hottest of the group here so far is the Sempa Primo. And this one, we blah, 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 controversy with world's hottest, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So 7-pot Hydra. I don't know. The idea is it's a 7-pot Primo. That's why we have a 7-headed Hydra. But the Hydra, interestingly enough, if you there's a guy called a mythology guy that talks about myths a lot, and the Hydra has varied in heads quite a bit. If you played the early God of War games, there's only 3, for instance, 3 heads. So, but it's fine. It's whatever. Myths are stories, and they're fun to play with, right? So we have water, garlic powder, scorpion pepper, sugar, salt, lemon extract again. So these 3 all have the same base ingredients. This one's a little bit different, but not what I would say to any great extent. This one, 7-pot pepper mash and scorpion pepper. So here's the other side of this. Because these are all so heavily vinegar forward, the application is very much similar. And you can see I've spent a little bit more time with the Cerberus and the Rougaroux. So as far as that goes, the Rougaroux was, when I first opened it for that video, the Rougaroux was by far the most interesting to me, which is weird because I don't really like scorpions or fatales. This one I expected to be a lot hotter than it was. This one turned out to be by far the hottest of all of them. And this one was just in this sort of weird... My impression of this was not favorable. I didn't really enjoy this one particularly, which is kind of odd because if chocolate halves, I do sort of like. Reds are my favorite, but chocolates I like as well. And I was a little bit surprised by all of that. And you can see that reflect in the back of the bottles through usage. I would say now, this is probably still my favorite. I do like this one. This one I like a little bit better. This one, the Rougaroux, I like a whole lot less than I did with that initial opening. So it's kind of interesting to me how stuff shakes out. In a way, I guess it's kind of weird too. And I never know. I can never really predict how that's going to go, which is why I didn't want to review these initially on opening them. The more space you can get in there to agitate this stuff, a lot of the times the sauce's complexions will change, even though these have very similar bases to them. So there's no way I'm going to be able to hold 4 spoons in front of the camera. That is not going to be a thing I'm going to be able to do. So, which was my main contention with trying to do it that way. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a look here at the sort of darker tan here of the Rougaroux. I think it's an okay looking sauce. I don't think it's like utterly special or anything, but it's fine. Oh man, look at what I just did. This is why I normally don't do more than one sauce at a time. Because I'm trying not to do this. We try to... I'm banging into the camera now. We try to... I try to have it so that it's cool, it's cool stuff. You can kind of take a look at it, and you can take a look at it before we get into the sauce talk. And, because I like talking sauce. A lot of times when I get a chance to catch up with my man Roger at Burn Your Tongue, we'll talk sauce for a while, and sometimes people wander in while I'm perusing the shelves, and we'll talk sauce with them. And it's fun I enjoy doing that. So occasionally, without giving away where I am, because, secret, right? The Temple of Flame is within us all. It's everywhere. But secret, you can occasionally find me browsing the shelves of Burn Your Tongue. And I do try to get to all the locations. So I guess keep your eye out. Maybe one day you'll see me. And if you catch up with Roger too, always good to have a conversation. So there's sort of a brownish orange here as well. And that's so the chocolate hab, that's those two. And I'm trying to get these all so we can look at them all together. But I think I might have to, I don't think I'll be able to fit everything in the frame, although I'm going to try because, that's what we do. We try foolish stuff. Here we go. This is the Cerberus. I'm not sure why I'm capping all these, but I'm going to anyway. Beautiful color. This one is my favorite color of all of them. It's this very rich sort of red, very slightly to orange kind of a thing. This one's neat. I am pleased. I'm pleased with this sauce. In terms of color anyway. Visually, the Cerberus probably is my favorite overall. Visually, I think it is quite good. And last but certainly not least, I wonder how many times I'm going to repeat myself with that phrase with this Hydra, hey? So we have the Hydra here, and this one is pretty similar actually to the Leviathan. It's a little thicker than the Leviathan is. You can see the color is... Can I even show you this? Hang on. This is why I don't do 4 once. Normally I wouldn't do this. This is actually enough sauces that this would be several months normally. You can see it's very, very similar there. This would normally be somewhere in the neighborhood of several months. Normally for me, right? These sauces here, this amount of them. But because I thought it would make a really cool video for the Lava Puff Challenge 3 that my man Donnie the Chili Mancer came up with, that's why I opened them all at once. But they're sort of in the same arena. I mean, they're really not hugely disparate sauce-wise. They're basically the same type of applications. There's not a lot of sweetness to these. They very much are a vinegar-forward sauce. So where you would use vinegar-forward sauces, pretty much essentially where you would use these. Okay, so let's... Oh, man, my tripod. I need a new tripod. Guys, get everybody you know to subscribe real quick so I can make a bunch of money and then buy another tripod. Okay, so there's the Rougaroux and the Leviathan. And there is the 7-pot and the Cerberus. And, okay, well, I guess I need to get to the trying these babies out, huh? We're going to start with the Rougaroux. Very vinegary. Very astringent. Get some of the lemon. Definitely a lot of the scorpion. It's a very bittery. It's becoming a lot more floral than it was initially. This one I don't actually... I'm not sure I'm going to continue with it, because I don't find floral notes in sauce especially enjoyable. So we're going to take a little palate cleanser here. Alrighty. Next up, the Leviathan. And this one I was so unimpressed with that I actually haven't done a lot more testing with it since that time. Love it, but it has done well, I will say. So my earlier conception of it is why I don't generally do sauce reviews after opening something. just because it can change over time. Yeah, that's not bad. It's again, I really wish the lemon wasn't there. Was it adding a dimension to this? I wish didn't exist, but the chocolate halves. I mean, this is actually developing into honestly a pretty good sauce. Definitely notably hotter than this one, though. Palate cleanser. This is the other reason I don't like to do this. It's one after another is. Okay, Cerberus. Texturally, this one's a little bit chunkier, a lot more peppery. I like the flavor of this a lot. It's not as hot as I keep expecting. It always surprises me. It's hotter than these two, certainly, but with the Reaper and the Primo and the Doodle, I expect it to be way more punchy than it actually is. This is a quite pleasant tasting sauce. I like this one quite a lot. I would prefer slightly more sugar to this. A little bit more sweetness would go a long way, I think, but I do find this pretty enjoyable. This is, I think, the one that is less of a vinegar forward entry into the Monster series. Chupacabra is the other one. That's the only monster not appearing here, and again, that one has onions, so it's not ever going to either. But I think as far as flavor of these sauces, to me, definitely Cerberus, I think, is a pretty clear winner. Okay, and last is the Hydra. This is the ringer. This is by far, like, just way hotter than these other ones. These all are kind of between, I would say, a 2 and a 3. I like the flavor of 7-Pot Primos. This is very, very, very aggressively punchy with those. And I think that the lemon and the scorpion here work against it. I wish this was just 7-Pot Primo. I wish all the other stuff wasn't in there. So definitely this is the hottest. This is the best flavored. These two I'd say are kind of more of a tie for me. And this is really, like, these are, this one in particular is handy for building tolerance. This one is, it's good enough that I want to finish it even though I don't like the lemon extract in there. This one is just getting to be way overly floral for me. So, all right, I've got some of this right here. Here it is, barbecue pulled pork. And one of the things I've said is I like to use Louisiana style sauces, Cajun style, to cut some of the sweetness of barbecue sauces because I almost inevitably find them all just way, way, way too sweet for my taste. All right, so I thought, good application for this. Let's make some barbecued pulled pork tacos. And we got cheddar, so we got tortillas here from La Banderita. And the only difference will be that this will be the control, these two things in this. The only difference is going to be the sauces, and we'll see how they do, which is best. And yes, I will be having 4 of these tacos. All right. All right, so we're going to, here's what we'll do. That Hydra, man, that's Little mouthful of blast furnace there. That one's the only one I would say is definitely Chiliad only territory. Because that is just aggressively punchy. Let's see, put a little more here. And divide these the best I can. Obviously, it's not precise science, but. And Lloyd's is exactly the kind of hyper sweet barbecue sauce I was talking about. All right, here we go. Let's throw some cheese on these. I had my tolerance up quite a bit there when I was busily doing challenges. A lot of them are forthcoming or here on the channel. And okay. It's gone down a bit though, I will say. Which is intentional because I don't want to run like challenge high tolerance all the time. You know, because I like to have mine be closer to where I would think a normies is. Obviously, it's still much higher, but I like it to be closer to that, you know, because I want this to be accessible for people who aren't chili heads to kind of come and take a gander as to whether or not, you know, an entry point is suitable for them or not. All right, so we're going to start with the Rougaroux. Normally, if I have these, I usually have it with jalapenos as well. I'm foregoing that this time now. Just because I want to get a feel for the sauces. The Rougaroux is not bad. It is adding a lot of floury notes to this I don't like. So this one, probably what's really weird is that I like this the best when I first opened, one of the best when I first opened these, and it has gotten progressively just harder and harder for me to tolerate the more floral it gets. I'm just not a fan of that profile. That's why you don't see a lot of, or you see less of them anyway, scorpion and fatality sauces. Okay, here we go. Chocolate hab of the Leviathan. So, I use a lot of straight cayenne while I'm trying to cut a barbecue sauce. This I don't think is working very well either. It is better than the Rougaroux, to be sure, but I don't like it here either. Well, it's interesting. The lemon and the scorpion pepper powder here are interfering. Okay. 2 down, 2 to go, and I don't think we're going to get some crazy differences here, but with the Primo, but this is the one I'm really interested in. This Cerberus. Very, very nice sauce. This is easily my favorite of all these. A little bit of a palate cleanser. All right. Now we're on to something. That's not bad. If I had my usual jalapenos in there, I think this would actually be okay. Again, not great, but definitely better by comparison. If they would have just added more sugar to this, this would have had a clear differentiation, and it's already by far the most flexible. It would have been even more so where you could use it on pizza and stuff. As is now, it's just too vinegar forward. All right, palate cleanser. This one, surprisingly though, and maybe that's what it was, is the Lloyd's has a lot of, the barbecue sauce has a lot of sugar. Or maybe that's what really sort of is pushing this one over, because that did help a lot. This one, interestingly, is kind of attacking the back of my throat as well. If you watch that Lava Pup 3 challenge video, my throat is really burning by the end of that, to the point it was very difficult to even talk. I'm starting to get some of that now, and I'm pretty sure it's this, which is interesting. So I don't know that 7 Pots, and I haven't noticed that anyway, with especially with 7 Pots or Reapers, so maybe it's the Douglas doing that. I don't know. Interesting, though. I don't think I enjoy that part, actually. All right, so the Hydra, 7 Pot Primo. The Scorpion is not as prominent in this because the chocolate hab isn't super hot. When it is with the super hot, it is simplified. Definitely gave you some cancellation effect here, which sucks because I don't want to taste scorpion pepper and I don't want to taste lemon extract. I'm getting way more of both than I want. That's the way it goes, though, you know. I don't qualify a lot of these videos beforehand. I just mostly go, yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. Let's do that. Sometimes it works great. Sometimes it works to less effect, and sometimes it doesn't work at all. Mostly it does. Like I try not to have something completely out of the blue, but in this case, even though I think these fit more in the Louisiana style cayenne sauce Cajun world, they're definitely not a one-to-one replacement. I don't understand the fascination with lemon extract in these three. Not in this one. I don't understand why scorpion pepper is in these three. I think if you delete those 2 ingredients, you have much better sauces for all of these. This one, is just way too flowery now. I can barely tolerate this. And that is one of the nice things I feel like with cayenne being mixed into barbecue sauce, because cayenne is such a good flavored pepper. You get a nice cutting of the sweetness a little bit, plus you get the added dimension of cayenne in barbecue sauce. I love to do that. I'll do it with ketchup sometimes as well. I love that as well. But cayenne is just it's absolutely one of my favorite peppers. I did, by the way, a list of my favorite pods on the blog if you want to check that out. You can follow the link to the review of all these four in the description below, and then go from there to the sauce of the year list. That's where my favorite pods are. The link is in there. Anyway, though, this is too flowery for me to continue. This just overly floral. I really dislike the lemon note on top of that. This one is gone after this video. This one and this one, I don't know if I'm going to finish those either, just to be honest here. Again, we have the same problem. Scorpion powder and lemon extract, and it is fouling both of these two. This is... It's hard for me to just turn this one away, though, because it is super useful as far as building tolerance. And there are maybe another one or two challenges I might try to still do in 2024. This one is okay on certain applications. I'll probably keep these two around. Maybe I'll finish them, maybe I won't. I don't know yet. This one tends to be more floral, though, than this one. This one tends to be a little bit better as far as that goes. But this one does have the dimension of being easily the hottest. I've left this one pulled forward because the Cerberus, for me, is the only... It's hard for me to say this, but this is the only worthwhile sauce of these four. Cerberus is one step from being a really good sauce. And it just needs to be a little bit sweeter, and that's right there. This is still a very pleasant tasting sauce, though. I think Reapers are a good tasting pepper, I think. 7.5 Primo is too, when you don't spike it with garbage. The Douglas, I haven't encountered them enough. One of the things in 2024 I'm playing around with a little bit is trying to find more Douglas sauces so I can get a better feel for that particular pepper. But definitely Cerberus is, to my mind, the one that I am very confident, very certain that I'm going to be finishing. The other ones, I don't know so much. So I like the idea of these labels. Labels are cool. They're slick. I do like that sort of, that part of it. I struggle with the execution here. Like, I seriously do, and I think part of the reason I like this one so much better than the others is that junk is not in this. There's no scorpion powder in this. There is no lemon extract in this. So, and I think that is definitely to the favor of the Cerberus. So, interesting experiment. I may have some more of those tacos with this one. Definitely not with the rest of these, though. These two, I think, probably will be used for like cream dishes, like a mac and cheese, maybe. If I am out of something better tasting, I may use them occasionally on like chicken tendies. I tried everything here on fish, and this is the only one I really liked on fish. Not surprisingly, I guess, because it's the best tasting, but. So fried foods isn't a given, but well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how close I get with these two, or I guess I'll see. You probably won't, but yeah. So you can see more of the rankings if you follow the link to the blog post for these. But for me, there's only one real clear winner, and that is the Cerberus out of these. So we'll just leave it there. But there it is. 4 of the 5 CaJohn's Monster Series, the Rougaroux, the Leviathan, my pick of the bunch, the Cerberus, and the Hydra.
Number 4. In peace, to serve the flame.